Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. More intimacy, please. Philippians 3:10-11 says, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, being made conformed to his death, if by any means I may attain to the resurrection from the dead. I have met with numerous couples who have come upon bumps in the road dealing with a problem in their relationships. Many of those couples expressed a desire for things to turn around, for things to get better. It is always exciting to see people invested in seeking for better, to hear people express dissatisfaction with the current state of affairs. It is empowering to recognize that things are not desirable and we want to get to a better place. Intimacy is wonderful. You see it, for example, in the animal kingdom when a dog and a cat in the same house become best friends. Just the sight of these two animals who are supposed to be sworn enemies being friends is amazing. It is that deep level of relationship that is difficult to explain, when each person cannot get enough of the other person, when conversation is treasured, when the moments spent together is priceless, and you long for more and more and more of that. It is difficult to explain, but it is so desirable to experience. To share intimacy with someone else is special regardless of race, class, rich or poor. It is one of those most treasured of human experiences. Sometimes I just want to hold my wife in a tight embrace and never let her go. In those moments, I feel so close to her and I don't want it to end. When you lose intimacy, you lose fuel. You lose the energy to face the future. The loss of intimacy leaves you empty and sad, and you long to return to that amazing feeling. Intimacy is the mountain peak of human interaction. There is one phrase in the text that stands out. That I may know him. That I may know him. Paul was talking about his relationship with Jesus. Now, this is Paul the evangelist, the man who has been busy doing all kinds of things, remarkable things for Jesus. This is Paul who seems not to know what it was to take a vacation from ministry and chill out on the beaches on the Mediterranean Sea, or go up in the hills of Judea and go spend some time with some friends. Go and sit and hang out with your family. Paul had become a follower of Jesus and had taken on a mission to take the gospel to non-Jewish groups, going off on 3 major missionary expeditions, moving from city to city, from country to country, suffering unimaginable experiences from natural causes like storms and being bitten once by a deadly snake, but also suffering at the hands of city officials, religious people who did not like him. This is Paul, who is busy working for Jesus, and we hear him say, I want to know more of Jesus. How much more of Jesus do you want to know, bro? You know Jesus more than any other human I know. You and Jesus are on first name basis. What more is there to know? Well, he did not just jump to this conclusion. As you read the earlier sections of this chapter, you heard him giving a summary of their relationship. He talked about his life before he met Jesus, how devout he was in a previous religious experience. Things changed dramatically for Paul once he met Jesus. He had the dubious distinction of being hated by the Jews because they saw his conversion as a betrayal of their rich heritage, and he was equally hated by the non-Jewish communities because they had heard about his brutal campaign against followers of Jesus. Now he had become one of them, and still he was not their favorite preacher. But Paul says that all the achievements he had accomplished, all the good works that he might have done, all the thousands of people who loved his ministry, he wants to dump all of that because in the end, they mean nothing to him. He just simply wanted to know more of Jesus. Have you ever seen some seniors who have been married for eternity? Sometimes they put younger couples to shame. They sit together, they hold hands, they're gracious with each other. The husband opens doors for his little old lady wife. She dresses up and she puts on some old but precious jewelry that he gave to her so long ago. They just spend wonderful time together. They are experiencing moments of intimacy that say, despite what you see as years together, we feel like we are in love all over again. Our hearts still beat as one. We are still madly in love with each other as when we first met back in college. Paul says, that is my desire. I have been serving Jesus for a long time, but I want to know him more. I think I know him, but I want to know more about him. I want to hear him tell me of what he endured to save me. I want to hear him tell me how much he loves me. I want to know more about Jesus. To pursue intimacy with Jesus is to say that I love my favorite fast food restaurant. Their burgers are to die for. But can I get to dine at the local diner nearby? I hear they serve the best barbecue chicken and mac and cheese. But after a while of eating there, I get tired of their good food and I want more. I want to eat at the top steakhouse in my city. Intimacy is like that, my friend. You experience intimacy with Jesus, but after a while you want more and so much more. Why? Because Jesus is so precious. He is so wonderful and I cannot get enough of him. This man from Galilee, I love him so much and I want more of him. I would love to be like Mary, who would just simply sit at his feet and gaze at his face. Can you guess that, like Paul, I want to know more about Jesus?